Hey, what's up, mates? No, I gotta say howdy, of course. Here's my part 2 film on World Oceans Day, and I'm gonna say right off the bat, please watch my part 1 first, because that provides a bit of the background and some of the premise of what the second video is going to cover. So, please, watch my part 1 first. That's a priority. You must. That's an order. No, I'm just kidding, of course. Anyway, what I wanted to cover in this video is, as I was mentioning in my last one, I was talking about how phytoplankton and algae, which are basically roughly the same thing, except really with phytoplankton, it's much more microscopic. That's really the difference. Aside from that, I was doing some research, and I came to see that one of our most, I should say, oxygen abundant producers found in our oceans is a particular phytoplankton that is called Prochlorococcus. I know, it's a long name, but that's the name that it is adopted by. And it is said, on a global scale, they're responsible for producing up to 5% of the oxygen supply coming from our oceans. Now, you have to consider there are thousands, if not millions, of different species of phytoplankton and algae combined. So it's very innumerable. Well, you get the point. Anyway, 5% out of that 50%, that's huge. That's basically a tenth. So that's whopping. Now, like, as a comparison of how abundant it is in general in terms of the mass of Prochlorococcus found in our oceans, it is equivalent to the weight of 220 million Volkswagen Beetles. There you go. Now you have something to relate to. That way you know how astronomical it truly is. So they provide the same function as trees do. They go through photosynthesis, and in that process, they produce oxygen. But for another, our oceans can play a key role in carbon sequestration from our atmosphere, which is also known as blue carbon. And some examples of ecosystems that provide those types of services include seagrass beds, which those are a bit in the estuaries, but it is close to the ocean. And of course, even mangroves too. So you think about that. Our oceans can store a lot more carbon dioxide than we think. And for another, much of the food supply, medicines that we make, like, what I mean by medicines is like the different ingredients to make our medicines, vitamins, they come from our oceans. I mean, for example, omega-3 fatty acids. Those come from different fish in our oceans. That's just an example. But the point that I'm trying to make is whether we realize it or not, our livelihood literally depends on our oceans. Without it, we cannot survive at all, whatsoever. It is literally a key to our survival. And you gotta think at some point, there could be a time when some of this water that we're seeing in the Gulf can wind up becoming a freshwater source. Who can say? But that's the point, is I feel like there's definitely not enough love. Well, I shouldn't say that entirely, but I just feel like it's not always emphasized enough. But the thing is, even though our oceans provide all of these services, they do face threats. Whether it be climate change, which at the same time, our oceans are very instrumental in creating weather patterns, simply because of the currents found in the oceans, as well as the trade winds as well. And, for example, hurricanes are produced over, as you guessed, water. So, I mean, it's just truly amazing just how the ocean is so biodiverse, yet we still know maybe a little fraction of what we've seen. It is truly another world, yet we reside in that same world, in a sense. We share it. And some other threats, of course, include littering, trash making their way into the ocean, nutrient pollution, that's a great example. Fortunately, in Florida, for instance, there is a mandate that fertilizer use is banned from basically June till around the end of September, which is, by the way, fantastic, because that should technically be incorporated anywhere. I mean, I could really go on more with this topic, but I just think that this is a form of topic that has to be broken up into several different videos. But it's nice to occasionally, when I have the time, use some of my marine science minor to my advantage, because I'm in an area that allows that type of opportunity. So, alright. I hope you guys have a fantastic Thursday. You guys take care. And of course, 30 on a Journey is onwards. Take care, folks. Have a good one.